Yeah, we hear about men that are crying because the women come first, and within the period the woman is here. There's things that happen in the background. The woman has moved on with someone or what, and when the man comes, he's sitting at home looking for a job. There's friction. There is whatnot.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you, everyone, everywhere? This is Lovers Podcast show, and today it's a different topic altogether, an interesting topic that is so hot, especially to the families in the diaspora, our brothers and sisters who have come to the diaspora, especially nyaya dzemahouse calls, kusuka, kuwacha, kuklina mumba. Maybe no Kuwacha manduwe. We want to unravel that subject and look into these matters closely because potentially they're causing all sorts of havoc, all sorts of displeasure and friction inside of the house. Because as far as I know, an African man is somebody who is taught to always be a person who goes to work and but there is a change, and the woman of course will be the one who will be doing house chores and all that traditionally. Before I go into that detail, let me invite my brother here, Shoko Prudence. Shoko, how are you, my brother?
I'm good. How are you, viewers? Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, the viewers are doing very well, Shoko. And let's unravel this subject, Shoko, and introduce yourself first of all.
My name is Providence Shoko. I'm an immigrant from Zimbabwe. I'm married with three kids. We migrated from Zimbabwe in 2023. So we have been here for almost a year and a half. And before we came over, we visited our marriage coach in Zimbabwe who told us of the culture shift that is between the African man and the European man. So he got us prepared for life as a husband and as a helper to the wife.
Perfect. Shoko. Upouya zvakanaka. Ipapo pautaura kuti you visited a marriage coach. We want to look into that closely and get some tips and some advice for our brothers here who came to Ireland or who are migrating to the diaspora, be it Canada, Australia, UK, America. It's the same situation. Now, from what I know and understand, is that an African man is somebody who was taught, who grew up in a culture which really emphasizes on a woman mostly being the person to do the house chores, doing the washing of clothes, cleaning the dishes, cooking, cleaning the house, and even looking after the babies. When the baby cries, even during the night, it is a woman who wakes up to make sure that the baby is quiet, is okay, is attended to, and the man will be just relaxed. And if a baby cries, for example, the man will say, your baby, mwana wako ari kuchema, mwana wako ari kuchema. Now we want to look in this change of culture because I understand that coming to Europe is a different culture together. Men in Europe, most of them, not all of them, or maybe some of them, or what we have seen on TV could be deceiving us because they can be portraying a different culture together. But not looking into what the European people do, but we just want to look at this closely on a neutral and point of view to say what should be done when men come into Europe, because there's been a lot of friction, a lot of it's a bone of contention that women go to work these days, and they go to work, they work 12-hour shift, 13 and a half hour shift, they come back home, they're exhausted, they're tired, and the men will be there in the house. What is your point of view regarding that?
First of all, marriage is an institution, just like a business. We have to learn, and you cannot learn by yourselves. You need a marriage coach, a marriage mentor. So, in our case, we had a marriage mentor in Zimbabwe who took us through
Yeah.
uh, these things. That there's a capture shift. Be prepared for ABC. So when we came, we were a bit prepared. Uh, the way an African man is raised in a being taught like the patriarchal society,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
the
yeah.
family, where the man is the boss of the family, even when there's leftover food, meat, it's for the men to eat in the morning. So, um, if we go back to our history, you find that back then the men were the hunters, going to the field, hunting, bringing something
Yeah.
into the home. The women were gatherers, and they were mostly gathering around the areas within the perimeters of the houses, and the men would go far. Kwainzi kumarimuka vachinoshanda. So here in the diaspora, all of us are working, both of us are going to work, and it would be unwise or arusurudo to wait for your wife to do everything for you that she used to do in Africa. Here it's better. There are machines. You can do your laundry in a machine. It's not very you can use your machine to do your dishes, your laundry, what have you. So if you are in love, you love your partner, you have to be there for each other, you have to understand each other. If you are in the house, if you are staying at home, why not give a helping hand? That's showing love. And
Yeah.
uh, ndokudorudo rwacho
Yeah.
irworwo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aneta, you can't expect. And a woman also, if you look, those from a Christian background, was we were told that Eve came from the side of
Yeah.
of
From the rib, the left rib.
Adam. She has to be on your side, taking care of one another.
Wow, Shoko, you just laid the foundation nicely and well, particularly looking into the background of how a man was raised, historically, way back into time, how life was like, that a man goes to hunt and spend much of the time in the hunting and or doing all sorts of things and working, and a woman will be playing around the house and looking after children and the kids. But now it's a different situation altogether, because the women are now going to hunt, like going to work, for example, to bring food on the table, and the men are doing the same. And in most cases, like when most people are coming into Europe in the health sector, especially those from Africa, particularly in Zimbabwe, they're in the health sector that. And the health sector is largely dominated by women. So you realize that women are the persons or the people who are coming to Europe first, and the husbands will come. Not only would they just find jobs immediately, but they have to stay in their house probably for childcare purposes, or they have to stay in their house whilst waiting to get a chance and opportunity to get a job. Or the situation also is that a husband might be earning less than the women, because when they come here, they are not going straight into their professions that they were known or they were used to back home. But they come and do menial jobs like healthcare assistants, and the woman is a nurse. So, which means the woman will be earning more than a man in most of the circumstances and situations. What do you think, and what will be your assessment and your advice with regards to that?
Yeah, we hear about men that are crying because the women come first, and within the period the woman is here. There's things that happen in the background. The woman has moved on with someone or what, and when the man comes, he's sitting at home looking for a job. There's friction. there is whatnot.
Yeah.
So in my view, if a wife is, if you are married and your wife is earning more, it's good for the home. It's good for your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So for us, that is the case with my wife. She earns more than me, so we have got accounts. We have got an account that she uses for her salary. I have got an account that I use for my salary. Then we have a joint account that we use mostly shopping, for our grocery, for our savings, something like that. So from my salary, I've got a certain percentage that is mine to use. She also has a certain percentage that is hers to use. No one asks
Wow.
why you're using your. It's like your free money. You can do whatever you want to do. So we operate at least three accounts.
Okay.
One we use it for work purposes for earnings. Then we've got a joint account that we administer together. It would be very foolish for any man to feel threatened with a wife that is earning more. If there is love in the house, respect, honoring one another, and loving each other, we should celebrate a wife that is doing that is earning more in the marketplace. And also for a woman who is earning more to think that she is the boss of the family. Um, she's no longer listening, or she's no longer submissive to his husband. I think that would be a foolish thing for any woman to do. So if one of us is earning more, it's good for our family. Let's plan together. Let's sit down. This is what we have. Um, then we sit down and plan together.
Well, words of wisdom, words of wisdom. And hansi benzi rinoputsa imba yayo nemaoko ayo. That's what the Bible says. So, well, Shoko, if only there's love, you emphasize that. You spoke about that twice now. I was hearing you, I was listening. You spoke about the word love. If there is love. So love encompasses everything. It enables you to do things beyond measure, and you have to be an understanding person to be able to see what needs to be done in the house. It's not about women, it's all about inclusion. And we there's been a lot of talk of equal rights and all those kind of things, equality. Do you think from a cultural perspective, African cultural perspective, and a biblical perspective, I know you are a believer, a Christian, and also vis-a-vis the changing of times in which we're living, is it fair that we should advocate for 50-50?
Okay. What I want to mention first is that besides love, what mean love is not enough to run a home, a house, or to
Yeah.
sustain marriage. Wisdom does. Wisdom is the principal thing in a marriage. So if you run your marriage through wisdom, you can conquer everything. Then to the issue of rights or of equality, I would honestly say that um, if we take, I refer to the Bible, the man, if you love your wife, the wife will automatically submit. It is easy for a woman to submit to a loving man. So the issue of right is taken away when the man stands loving his wife, supporting his wife, and the wife will automatically submit. So that takes away the issue of equality.
Yeah.
But I would say we are both equal before God and before the law.
That's massive. That's massive. If you love, the husband's responsibility is to love the woman, to love the wife, and automatically there's submission from the other part. So there is no equality, there is love and submission. So if you're submitting, you have to be under the authority and the leadership and the government and the ruling of a certain person or a certain organization. That's submission. If you go to work, you cannot bring new laws, regulations at your workplace, there's leadership there that you need to listen and abide so that you stay at work. Isn't it the same, Prudence?
Let me give you an example. Uh, every man is the head of the family, right?
Yeah.
There are women that are wise, that are sharp, that are brilliant, that have got a bright mind. So, as a husband, if I am not too sharp, wisdom will tell me I'll let my wife lead in some areas that she is strong. If we are strong in different areas,
exactly.
So we compete, we complement rather each other. My wife is strong in the areas of saving, so I am a spender. I love to spend. My wife is a saver. So in terms of saving, I trust my wife more because she is gifted naturally. She is anointed in that area. So if we run our marriages looking at the strengths of your partner, and we work with the strengths of your partner, then your partner will become your weaknesses. I think we will go a long way.
Shoko, I don't know. You are a wise person. You are a balanced person, I should say. You balanced both sides. You looked at the side of being a man and a lover, and a woman being a submissive. Now you're looking also at the other aspect, which is really, really a huge and really causing a lot of friction in the families when a woman is more sharper than the man, and men will be having that ego to say, no, 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 you can't do that to me. I'm the father of the house, I'm the man of the house, so you need to have your limit. And yet the woman is right in her own assessment and articulation of things, and she knows what needs to be done, because these women are also learned, educated, and wise in a way. And the balance now, you just brought it, and I hope men are also listening and learning.
Yes, we should do learn. What I do, I will give you a personal example, a life example.
Yeah.
My wife will suggest something. I will say, okay, let me think about it. I don't think about it. If it's a brilliant idea, I will just take my time.
Okay.
Making a think I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Then I'll say, let us go, or I will suggest it in other words.
In other words, from a different angle.
But it's like it's coming from me. I just introduce it in another way.
In another way. Wow.
Yes, if you are rigid and your wife brings up a very good idea that can take your family, whose name is going to be praised.
Of course, you're the father of the house.
You implement it, whose name is going to be praised with the people outside.
Your name, the father, the head of the house's name.
Yeah, do whatever. I'll give you a free roll. Do whatever she likes. At the end of the day, they will say, my Shoko, Mrs. Shoko, or Mr. Shoko. It all comes back to us.
It all comes back to us as a family. Victory, when it comes, it's all for the family. Now, Shoko, you told at the beginning, you told us how you went to a marriage counselor before you traveled to Ireland, to Europe. How they grilled you, they helped you, prepared you mentally for a culture shock. I know very few are able to do that. I would like us to help us, Shoko, to look closely into what transpired. What were the major points that were raised that you still remember and that you are putting into practice at this juncture in terms of changing of environment so that your marriage is stronger?
Okay, what my mentor told me was that the cultures are different. What we're doing here, coming home, expecting your wife to cook, expecting your wife to do laundry, expecting your wife to do all the dishes. In the diaspora, it will be different because you both be working shifts. So you have to be prepared to do the dishes, to do the laundry, to clean the house, to put order in the house, to cook also. Then number two, he told me that for your marriage to work in the diaspora, you have to balance your shifts. You have to balance your shifts so that you don't spend 7 days without seeing each other. So that's what we are doing. I go to night shift. My wife is on day. When I come back, I see her. Then she goes to work later. We meet every day. Our shifts, we structure our shifts in a way that we every day we meet. If we don't meet, maybe it's within 24 hours. Maybe for 24 hours we don't meet, but every 24 hours, every 42 hours, we have to interact, and we have to. I have to be. There has to be something, or we have to be together always. So we have to. He taught us to structure our shifts, and he also encouraged us to remain faithful to each other. He told us the statistics of divorce in the diaspora. He told us very easy for people in the diaspora to divorce. So he led us to understand the importance of marriage, keeping yourself pure, honesty, financial fidelity. You know, there's financial infidelity in the marriage. You are to Africa, your wife doesn't know. The wife is sending money to your relatives. You don't know. It took us through all those things. So that is what we are living with, and is making our marriage to stand despite the challenges that we face here in the diaspora.
Providence, we are not going to look deep into some of the issues that you raised there about financial infidelity. That's another topic on its own that probably we need to unravel and dissect. I think those who are listening and watching, give us some questions in the comment section, and we'll look into those questions and as a subject for discussion. You know what? This is going to help you, your marriage. This is going to help your woman. It's going to help your men. These issues are not closely, openly discussed in the house because they are a bone of contention and really sensitive. But that's why we have Lovers Podcast Show, to be able to look into these issues. Now, Providence, as we close down, let's look into the issue. I know you just tackled it now. Issue ya kusuka maplates, kubika, cooking in the house, preparing the dishes, making the dishes, washing the dishes. They were doing the laundry and all those kind of things. And how important, how practical. I know your position is that we should do these things as men as well. But how does that go a long way in terms of preserving? And if you agree to that, how long does it go in terms of preserving a marriage?
Right, lovers, I'll be very honest with you. I came through my wife's on my wife's visa, and just to appreciate the to appreciate her, to love her, to show her love. I have to go an extra mile in making her settle, in making her happy.
Right.
So if I take care of the house chores, if I do the dishes, if I do the laundry, if I clean in the house, if I put order, if I iron, I am doing, she will be very happy with me. So in love, you do those things that make your partner happy, that takes the burden from your partner. I think that's a way to show your love, and your partner will really appreciate you.
That's very important, Shoko. I think you can put your questions in the comment section, and I really want to thank Providence today for coming on board to help me to look into this matter closely and also be able to help each other to live a better life in Europe without fighting and friction emanating from responsibilities and balancing up of the house. We talked about a man loving his wife and wife being submissive, and also we looked at a woman being intelligent and smarter than the man, and yet the man should be able to ride on that and take that as an advantage, and because it's a good and huge compliment to the man, and the name that goes at the end of the day is for the family and not of an individual. Shoko, what would be your last words as we close down?
For marriages to work, marriages run on two legs. Number one, love is not enough. Number two, wisdom. You run your marriage through wisdom. A wise woman builds a marriage through her own hands, but a foolish woman destroys a marriage through her own hands. So if you love your wife, she will automatically submit. Love is a way of melting these women. The women's hearts are melted by love. Every man who loves his wives will surely reap. It's sowing and reaping. If you love your wife, you have sown into her, you will reap her submission. Thank you, viewers.
Love is a way of melting and changing things, but the most important thing is wisdom as a two-legged thing to make use of: love and wisdom. With that, it's a Lovers Podcast show out. Please don't forget to remember, subscribe and like. Until we meet again.